Welcome to this episode of the Heartbeat for Hire podcast. I feature Olympians, CEOs, disruptors, authors, professional athletes, and the best of the best, where they share their stories of resilience with my lens on leadership and culture. Let's get started. Greetings and welcome to this episode of the Heartbeat for Hire podcast. I am delighted to bring you my guest today. 3 things you will learn from this episode. Number 1, why in the most stressful situations, the right leadership truly matters. Number 2, why mastering your mindset is the key to unlocking your highest potential. And number 3, how holistic leadership conquers every challenge. Rebecca Fitzsimmons is the founder of Tactical Harmony, an online business dedicated to mentoring ambitious professionals and businesses on holistic leadership and mindset strategies. She's also the host of the Tactical Harmony podcast, in which she shares game-changing, transformative tactics supporting her community to gracefully navigate their career and home life while enjoying freedom, abundance, and bliss. Over the last 2 decades, Rebecca served as an NCIS Special Agent and as a senior leader at a technology company. Throughout her global experience living and working around the world for 9+ years were spent in the leadership ranks. Rebecca saw firsthand how holistic leadership was the answer to every challenge. And now it is her mission and pledge to share these lessons and blessings with the world. Rebecca, welcome to the show. I am so happy you're here.
Oh, Lyndsay, what a greeting. Thank you so very much. I am stoked to be here and I'm so excited for our conversation today.
Well, we've got a lot to talk about, and I am just tickled pink that you're going to share your story. So that's where I usually like to start. So could you give us a little more background and paint a little more color of your story?
Yeah, I'd love to. So yeah, I'll give like a high level overview and happy to fill in anything that you would like me to expand on. So my beginnings were in a very small town in Northeast Ohio. A lot of people haven't heard of Geneva. It's right on Lake Erie, but it's right outside of Cleveland, Ohio. And very, very humble beginnings. And I'm very proud of that because I really think at an early age, it helped form my scrappiness and my grit and my resilience. So I absolutely love that. And I eventually went to college to get my degree in forensic science, which really kicked me off on this whole, career with special agent, crime scene investigation, all of these things. And ultimately, as you stated, I became a special agent with the United States federal government. The majority of those years were with the Naval Criminal Investigative Service, also known as NCIS. Although I did a tour with the Air Force Office of Special Investigations as well, for the first couple years of my professional career. And Lyndsay, let me tell you, NCIS afforded me so many opportunities to mold me and form my leadership, my mindset, my humanness, how the lens I look through and just how I experience the world. And so I'm very grateful for that because not only was I able to serve in several different field offices here in the United States, I was also able to serve in Italy. So I was stationed in Italy for many years, and I was able to support a lot of Eastern Bloc countries through force protection, such as Ukraine and Romania. And so I was very blessed to see all parts of the world. And so then eventually I joined, like you said, the private sector. I hopped over to the tech side and I wanted to serve in a different capacity and kind of see what it was like. And again, the same thing just kept coming to the surface, how mindset and holistic leadership truly answer every single challenge. It doesn't matter your industry, your sector, your culture, your country, any level. It truly did answer everything. And so that really led me, and that's the spirit of my business, the essence of Tactical Harmony, which is now I dedicate my life to serving others through that heart-centered, holistic leadership. And I'm so grateful. I still pinch myself and I'm like, wait a minute, am I an entrepreneur? Like, wait, I was a special agent. Like where you start is not where you need to end up, right? Chapters and seasons. And so lots to unpack, but that's like a high level overview of my professional trajectory.
Oh, well, 100%. I mean, I think But certainly I can relate to the squiggly line that was my career path. And I think there's a lot of joy and a lot of color in that. And so bravo to you for figuring out your squiggly line. But let's go back to NCIS because I don't think a lot of people really understand what that means, what that work looks like. And could you just paint a little picture there? Because I think we certainly know about the TV shows, but I don't know if that's super realistic. And I think it would help people understand the kind of leadership necessary that you had to have there, and both you who led you as well as the leadership you had to demonstrate.
Yeah, no, happy to do it. And yeah, I joined before the TV show. So now that it's so popular, like I vividly remember when I was working in Romania, they're like, oh, NCIS is real. There's actually a real NCIS. I'm like, yes, like I know the TV show exists, but it actually worked in our favor for that visibility. But yeah, so NCIS, so we are a part of the Secretary of the Navy. So we support the United States Navy and the United States Marine Corps. And we do that through felony level criminal investigations and through all things national security. So counterintelligence and counterterrorism. So we do everything to support our war fighters. And we do that not only here in the continental United States, but we do that overseas. So we're deployed, we're on aircraft carriers, we're in Afghanistan, we're not like wherever our service members are, and we support them and their family members. So anything with that nexus or connection to the Department of the Navy, we would support through those three main pillars. So for me, I was very blessed because I was able to work across all three disciplines. So I started my work off in crim. So I did everything from dope work to death investigations to child crimes, sexual assaults, like all of the things. I did a lot of protective service operations. So I supported several different presidents when they would visit, let's say, Marine Corps Air Station Miramar, which is famous for Top Gun in San Diego. And so I would be working alongside Secret Service to support them when they would visit military installations and all the things. And so by virtue of being able to work across all of these disciplines and then getting into the leadership ranks back in like 2016, this is hard stuff.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
And it's real pressure. This is not like if we miss our quota. I mean, this is lives. So
this is life or death. Yes. It's really like to foot stomp that, it cannot be overstated. You know, I want to come home at night. My life is at risk. I don't know when I'm going to be able to sleep. And so mindset and leadership strategies are so important. And it's certainly important in an everyday change management situation and tech. But when it comes to crises, life or death, the pressure is mounting. Things are changing. Intel is coming in. You have to make the best decision you can with what you're presented with. And so through these really tense, high risk situations and dynamic situations, I was able to form these grit and resilience muscles, leadership muscles very organically. And then I realized that a lot of other people may not have those opportunities. They may not have that ability to kind of see how it works in the spectrum of experiences, which is why I love to shine a light on it, because there's so much that I've learned through all of those different experiences.
I bet.
Yeah, it's incredible.
So could you share like a story of a high pressure leadership situation where that leadership mattered so much? Because I mean, we talk about this all the time on the show, and I love everybody's different perspectives on leadership, and whether you're, in the military or in the corporate world or in a hospital or wherever, like you said, leadership is leadership. And talk about some of the most important things that you had to listen to and that you learned. And then we can certainly dig into your perspective on what you do with Tactical Harmony.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm thinking of one particular op and mission, and it was very, very, very dangerous. There were a lot of moving parts, a lot of things coming in the door. Things were rapidly changing. Emotions were high. And I was the second level in command at that time. So I was the assistant special agent in charge. And so I had a whole cadre of supervisors that were reporting to me, and then the special agents reported to those supervisors. And so we had something very high profile. Our NCIS headquarters were closely monitoring this. This was unfolding. Of course, the media is involved. So you can imagine the eyes that were on us. So just to kind of paint that picture, how it's not just normal tense, it's really, really tense. And so I was responsible for making some very, very, very key decisions that were coming in. And really, this taught me that in the moment, you can only assess the information that is available to you at any given time. And so you assess that. You assess the threat. You take a holistic look at everything around it, right? And you don't make decisions in vacuums. You talk to the people that you've already built the trust and respect with. You have that foundation. So that relationship, those relationships are already there. They're present. So you can lean on each other when this is going on. And then you need to act. Leaders need to lead. When in charge, be in charge. Because if I sat there and if I had analysis paralysis, lives could have been lost. I could have missed key evidence. I could have ruined the whole operation, which was a multi-day operation.
Yeah.
And that didn't happen because I assessed what was going on. I talked to the relevant stakeholders that were involved and we moved. And then when we had incoming intel, we shifted again. So I would say takeaways from that in an incredibly tense, very, very, very dangerous situation, this particular op is analysis paralysis. Nobody got time for that. When in charge, you need to make a decision. And then you need to have the adaptability, knowing that what you decide right now could change into the next hour or the next day. It can change. So you have to be able to pivot.
Yep.
And having those relationships, which is the foundation of anything, of any culture, I have the trust and respect, and I've built that. I've nurtured it. I've earned it. So when I'm asking my team to do things, they know that I have their best interest at heart. They know that I've done the calculus, that I've done the work, and that when I'm asking them to do, even if they disagree or however uncomfortable, we're moving the ball down the field. This is in furtherance of our shared goals. We've got this. And so all those critical components to include emotional intelligence, because we're humans. Special agents are humans. I'm going to have emotions. I'm going to, but I'm aware of them and I regulate them. And then I'm so in tune with my team that I'm aware of them and I have that relationship management. So having that high EQ is so pertinent when you're dealing with these situations. So those would be some takeaways.
Yeah, no, I mean, the one word that was kind of the thread that I heard throughout all of it was trust. And the best leaders build trust. And you do that by, I know for me, whenever I was a new leader, assuming a new team, it was really important to do a listening tour. It was really important to say what's working, what's not working, give me the political landscape, tell me who I should be watching, both good and bad. And when people feel heard, they feel like, okay, I've got her ear and this isn't happening in a vacuum. Now, in your position, there's not a ton of time to be like, so let's talk and let's like explore your feelings and what's bothering you. We don't have time for that. So you inherently had trust of the people that reported to you, which cascades down. But how you behaved and how you are listening to people's instincts and feelings is really important to acknowledge that and say, I hear you, I see you, but we've got to go. So yeah. So let's jump out of that for a moment and go into tech, because tech is a dramatically different landscape than what you just described. And what were some of the big differences you noted? Because I mean, software and SaaS, that's not the same pressure as, you know, lives on the line. I mean, for the most part. So talk about some of the differences that you noted, or were there any?
Yeah. I would say the efficiency, like how quick, you can move something, the government, listen, we can all agree, red tape, bureaucratic, things are a little harder, but it's, if we zoom out, it's my mission at NCIS, was not to make money. I'm not driven by revenue, right? Like my mission, as I stated, was very, very different, to protect those who serve. And in tech, it's revenue driven. It's a difference, customer service driven. But I saw what I loved, Lyndsay, is that the same skills the same, knowledge, skills, abilities that I had and that I built for so many years with NCIS translated very well because it's about passion for people, passion for purpose. You're rallying someone around that shared vision, the same EQ skills applied.
Mm.
Maybe where I would assign my stress threshold, because it's got to be a lot to get Rebecca rattled. One of my
Yeah.
nicknames in NCIS was Palm Tree because I'm so steady and I'm very calm. Like it takes a lot to try to like
Yeah.
I'm very steady,
That's
as you
great.
probably can tell. And so when people get excited over things in tech, maybe I don't. When I say excited, I mean like super
Yeah.
stressed.
Reactive.
Like,
Yeah.
exactly. And
Mhm.
so my response and steadiness translated very well to kind of set the tone. As leaders, we set the tone. I'm like, okay, we've got this. This is something that we can figure out. Maybe it's a movie we haven't seen before, but you know what? We've got the skills and the tools. We've got each other. We're a team. Let's go. And so I think it kind of, it was like that paradigm shift a little bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was really enlightening to see the skills transfer, just different talk, different words,
Sure.
different goals, different OKRs, if you will. But
Yeah.
yeah.
So let's talk about mindset because mindset is something that I know you're super passionate about. You love to talk about this, as do I. But let's talk about why everyday people need a really important, a well set mindset. Can you say that? Well set mindset? They need that. And let's first talk about why, because people just kind of barrel through their lives and they're like, yeah, I'm getting the job done, doing my thing, I'm getting my paycheck. Like, why does mindset matter?
Yes. Oh, how much time do you have? It will be succinct for you, I promise. Mindset is number one. So often, I don't care if you are in a leadership position, if you're just starting your career, if you are leading your family, maybe you don't have a traditional, job, but you have the most important job, you're a mom, you're a dad, or you're single, you're leading your life. Mindset and that self-leadership matter. How you talk to yourself matters, like your thoughts. A lot of people go through their days, and I say this with love and grace because I was certainly one of them until I became aware. I just go through the motions. You get up, you brush your teeth, you shower, you eat your breakfast, you get the coffee going, you get to hop in your car, you go to work, you're good to go. But what are you thinking? Like, what are the thoughts in your mind? When you wake up in the morning, people usually think of problems. That sets a
Sorry.
bad
Yeah.
frequency and vibe for the day. And then what you focus on expands. Literally, this is neuroscience. The reticular activating system in your brain focuses on things that you were thinking about. So if you're looking for that new car and suddenly you see that new Bronco everywhere, and then
Yeah.
you hear people talking about it in a restaurant or at a bar or in the grocery store, because your RAS, reticular activating system, is doing its job. So this isn't just woo-woo fluffy stuff. This is based in neuroscience.
Yeah.
Neurons that fire together, wire together. Like you can change your brain by how you think.
Mm.
And thoughts are energy. So if I am invigorating self-talk and I've got this and I'm setting powerful intentions in the morning, do you think I'm going to have a kick-ass day?
Hell yeah.
Yeah, because I am getting my body and my brain and I'm dumping the biochemistry, the feel-good chemicals, the serotonin, the dopamine, and my body is primed and tuned in, and I'm in a peak energetic state to have optimal performance.
Yeah.
But if I'm beating myself up, I'm thinking about who wronged me 10 years ago.
Yeah.
I'm living in the past, so I'm not looking forward, and I'm playing small and I'm keeping myself in a box. Humans are capable of absolute greatness. There are no limitations except for the limitations and the limiting beliefs and the fear that we have on ourselves. And it starts with our mindset to become aware, to improve it, to run it, right? Because the body doesn't go where the mind hasn't been. So that mental rehearsal and that mindset matters from everyday decisions we make. Maybe I want to be healthy and I want to, eat more vegetables or protein and less eating out, to huge situations in NCIS that I face. If I had a poor mindset, if I wasn't even aware of my thoughts and how I can regulate myself,
Sure.
I'm not going to be successful at
Well,
home or at work.
and it's so interesting that you say this because I'm a mom of teenagers, and mindset is a really big conversation in our house, mostly one direction, me to them, but and, and I'm trying to teach them, what positive self-talk is and don't beat yourself up. And, if you are a leader who doubts yourself and has fear, everyone will see that. And if you are a leader that says, "Hey, I'm not the smartest person in the room, but I know what I'm capable of, and I'm ready to learn, and let's do this together," you will command respect in such a different way. So I love the way you talked about that, and I love the way you talk about, the track that's in your mind, and don't be sitting beating yourself up and worrying all the time. Worrying about things like the weather serves nobody. That's just wasted energy. It's foolish. So let's talk a little bit about holistic leadership, because now we've talked about mindset. So what in your definition is holistic leadership?
Yes. So holistic leadership takes a whole person approach to influence and inspire yourself as well as others.
Mm,
So, in the traditional sense of the word leadership, we're influencing and we're inspiring others, but we're skipping over ourselves. So, you are the main instrument, you are the modality and the vehicle in doing this. And I am a firm believer if you cannot lead yourself, you cannot lead others, which is why you see all over my LinkedIn and Instagram, everywhere that I have a Rebecca paw print, footprint, is awaken your inner leader, because
mm,
we all have it. I'm leading my life, I'm leading my family, I'm leading my
right.
day, I'm leading my teams, I'm leading all of the things. And so that mindset and how I'm influencing and inspiring myself, and there's so many tenets to unpack with that, translates how I am an effective, meaningful,
Mhm.
holistic leader for others around me. And so that is the essence of holistic leadership.
I love it. And I love this 360-degree approach to leadership. We've seen this change on LinkedIn. Back in the day, this was just a place to hold your resume. And
Mhm.
now it's a platform for expertise, but you show up as a whole person. You are not only your job. Most people are multi-hyphenates. Most people do other things. And it's great to see that. And I love when people take a moment to infuse a little personality into their page. Like, do you make excellent crepes? Or, do you make a mean margarita? Or do you love, as I say, wiener dogs? I mean, there's all these little things that when you put them out there, people can connect with you and resonate, and you become a safe space. So don't
Mhm.
underestimate those things. And as a leader, if you don't share any of those pieces of yourself, you're missing out. Your people want to connect with you. And so when you can share those anecdotes, I am sure for you, the experience you have is so interesting, but you command so much respect because of what you've been through. And that is a reason why you're so successful and why people look to you for answers and guidance and leadership. It's so
Mhm.
smart. So I love that. So what inspires you?
No, what inspires me? Um, I I try to look at everything in life as a teacher. So everything's a lesson, everything is a blessing. Even the challenges or the my favorite F word, failure, failed quote unquote failures, they're all lessons and blessings, right? There are no bad days. There are character building days where I'm flexing new muscles, or perhaps I need to refine a current muscle. So I try to look at everything for that source of inspiration. But you're gonna appreciate my answer here, Lyndsay, because you you just said you were a wiener dog lover.
Oh yeah.
So I have a book that's coming out in a few weeks, and it's called Unleashed: Holistic Leadership Insights from Our Canine Companions.
Oh, I want a signed copy.
Oh, you got one. Consider it done, my friend. But dogs are some of the greatest teachers. And one might think, Rebecca, how in the world is, wait, leadership, holistic leadership in dogs? Well, I lay all of this out in the book, but for a preview to your amazing audience, everything from mindfulness to gratitude to influence and inspired action, adventure and curiosity, love and connection, grit and resilience, mental fitness, all of these things dogs naturally do.
Yeah.
They naturally do all of these things from mind, body, spirit. They organically exhibit all of the things. They're authentic. They're unapologetically themselves. They're so grateful for all of the things. They forgive you. They don't, when we go off track, they don't beat themselves up or beat you up. They earn that trust and respect, the discipline they have through training. I go into all of this and I infuse a lot of fun stories from all of my life and of course my dogs. And I really think, and my intention and energy that I infuse in this book is that if you're a dog lover, you're going to love this. But I also want to really awaken you to you can derive wisdom from very unconventional places. I don't think dogs and leadership are the first thing, people think of when they're like, you know what, I'm going to learn holistic leadership. Hey, whatever your
Yeah.
dog's name is, let's go. But anything can be a teacher and present opportunities for growth and to step
Mhm.
into the next level of leadership if you allow it. But you have to be open to receive. And
I love
so
this. I
that is
love
my
this.
answer.
I love this so much. And I think dogs, especially, like you said, there's that unconditional love where they just show up for you no matter what kind of day you're having. But you have to be a leader for them. Otherwise, it's chaos. And it's training and it's making sure that they understand what's good behavior, what's bad behavior. But you can't they're I call them angels on earth, and the worst thing
Mhm.
about having a dog is that you outlive them,
Ugh.
and that's just the hardest thing. I think I'm on my seventh dog. So yeah, they change your life and they just feed your
True.
heart and your soul. And um Poppy Long Sausage is back there. So normally she's in my lap, but today she's over there.
Oh,
So yeah, huge love for them, and I'm so excited about your book. What would you like your legacy to be?
oh goodness. Um, Service. That's the first word that popped into my brain, so I'm going to say it as it's service to you, service to your audience, service to myself, my family, to the world, to anyone that comes on my trajectory or into my world. I'm serving them. And something that I always tell my teams is once you're on my team, you're always on my team.
Mm,
So there's a lot of people in NCIS I still give counsel to, squads that I had years and years and years ago. We're still together because we're still on the same team.
yeah.
So just because I'm not physically an NCIS special agent or I'm not in their field office or wherever they might be, we're always together. I'm always going to serve them. That bond doesn't just stop or break because I'm in a different geographic
Yeah.
location. It transcends those physical boundaries. And so my legacy, when you think of Rebecca, I want you to think of service, absolute service in every part, mind, body, soul, that I am serving with every fiber of my being. And I know that that's my calling here on earth,
I
service.
love it. Well, your legacy has already been cemented, so congrats to you. Um, what's next for you? I mean, I know we've got the book coming up, but what else?
Yeah. Yeah, so I've in this recent few months, I've launched everything on LinkedIn, and Tactical Harmony is my newer business. So I'm out here, offering leadership coaching and keynote speaking. So if anyone would like me to be on their team or to support them in any way, that's kind of the zone that I'm in right now. And of course, the book that'll be out in December, right before Christmas. So yeah, that's kind of what's cooking right now, and just so blessed to be a part of all of it and any opportunities that are coming down the pike.
Well, guys, I mean, you heard she's a pretty magical person, and if you were looking for a good keynote or a present for the holidays, there's a book that's coming your way. Um, Rebecca, thank you so much for being such a fabulous guest and sharing your stories. And guys, if you liked what you heard, please subscribe to the YouTube channel, tell your friends, go to Apple or Spotify, leave a review, leave 5 stars. I am so grateful. It helps me bring great guests like Rebecca, and we have a jam-packed schedule well into next year. I'm so excited to bring these amazing people to you. Thank you for listening. Have a great day and lead with heart. Are you ready to elevate your leadership style and create an exceptional workplace that stands out from the crowd? I'm here to introduce you to a game-changing resource that will transform the way you lead and shape your company culture. It's time to embrace the power of top-down culture. This practical guide empowers your leadership for lasting success, helping you create a workplace where everyone thrives. Get top-down culture today, and let's reshape the future of leadership together. Thanks for listening to this episode of Heartbeat for Hire. I hope you enjoyed what you heard. If you did, please subscribe to my YouTube channel or consider leaving a 5-star review and a great rating at Spotify or Apple. Thank you so much for your support. Have a great day.